something we haven't said for a little while. Welcome along to qualifying in China. After a few years' absence from the calendar, it is great to be back here. But just who is going to put their car on pole?
All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track.
God's sake.
And we've been pushed down to P20.
Welcome to the stream.
Drop to P20.
So we're through, and second place in Q1. Of course, we've already done the sprint qualifying and the sprint race. Pretty good sessions, I must say. Yeah, so let's try and continue that form. We're up there with our teammates, so we know that this is the genuine pace of our car. But knocked out is the home favourite, Zhou, Hulkenberg in the Haas, Albon, Stroll and Sargent. So both Saubers, both Williams and a Haas. On to Q2 now. I think we fucked it up. The track's wet. Yeah. Well, we've messed that up then, haven't we? So we are out in Q2. Complete opposite to sprint qualifying, but it happens. I guess that's what we get for doing our usual thing, skipping to the end of qualifying. But then again, it didn't say that it got a rain, so it's not entirely our fault. But yeah, teammates through. Both V's are cash ups, Alpine, a Haas, and himself knocked out. Tough race in store for us tomorrow.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once again. It's a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first win with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt there's plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Hamilton, Gasly, Sainz, Ricciardo, Ocon, Magnussen, Edwards, Joe, Hulkenberg, Albon, Stroll, Sargent, Oscar Piastri, and Yuki Tsunoda. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you know, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, you know, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, you know, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, qualifying has left us some work to do if you want to match your results from last race, but come on, you can do this.
Right, so penalties for Tsunoda and Piastri has helped us out here. Put us up an extra couple of places, so not too bad. Strategy is going to be medium to hard, and yeah, let's try and get some good points from here then. So a nice start from us up into P8, going around the outside of turn 1 and 2. Has helped us with that, so got to play it patient. As much as we want to get up there, got to play it patient because Leclerc and Verstappen are both battling, so this is going to help us. We go around the outside of Russell, see if we can make the move stick. We can, we send it up the inside and we're through up into P7. And now Perez is getting involved in the battling for second place, that is, from Leclerc. So not ideal that Leclerc has dropped back because Verstappen's just getting away now.
That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
There's also McLaren making it 3 wide. That's Lando Norris going down the inside of Perez and Leclerc. A bit of contact made between all three of them, which isn't surprising at all into such a tight corner. But Norris is past Perez. Perez sends it back up the inside of the final corner. We get a huge snap on in the final corner. Our teammate now is getting involved. Russell is coming past us, which is it's all very crazy up here at the front. I think that Norris might have a bit of damage, you know, and that's why he's going so slow. He's lost 2 positions now, one to Perez and one to Alonso. He's almost losing another to Gasly. But while this is all happening, Verstappen is clearing Leclerc. We go down the inside of Lando, try and make this move easy done,
Nice move. Good
and
job.
it is. Norris, notably though, is on the hard tyres, so that's probably also where the pace is lost. Those tyres take a while to fire up. The McLaren, as we all know, isn't good at the start of a stint, but as it gets to the end of one, it's a very quick car. So we're up into P6 within the first 2 laps. That's 6 or 7 places made up, which isn't bad, I must say, for the first lap. Meanwhile, Alonso now going for the move on Perez. He's got the DRS. Perez hasn't. Going to go round the outside of Sergio. They're still keeping it side by side as well, going towards the final corner. Alonso has the inside line, so he gets a way better entry to the corner, and he's managed to squeeze Perez out. But Gasly is coming at them both. Perez tried to go back at Alonso there, but he just ran out of straight before the corner, so he has to tuck behind just for the moment. Leclerc is catching Verstappen, by the way, so it's not game over fully. They could still have a big battle. We have a switch back on Gasly that puts us alongside him down to the end of sector 1 now. Still side by side, going to try round the outside, get the power down. Overtake mode enabled, and we're through and up into P5 in this race from P13 in 3 laps. I'd say that's pretty good going. Next is the Red Bull of Perez, our points rival, of course, from last season and this season. So we've got our 2 rivals ahead of us, really, our teammate rivalry and our points rivalry. So now onto the kilometre-long straight. The aid of DRS and overtake mode and slipstream, catching up to the back of Perez. Leclerc is right on the back of Verstappen. We send one very late there on Sergio to try and get our moves done as quick as what we can. It's still side by side into the final corner. He pushes us wide though. No, we haven't got DRS, but we've got an illegal overtake though. Gasly is going to go steaming through the both of us, and he's up into P4. The Alpine there showing some magnificent performance compared to what they were showing last season. Of course, we turned down secret meetings like halfway through them with Alpine, so if we let Gasly finish ahead of us here, then that would be pretty embarrassing for us. So we've got to try and outscore Alpine in every single race. That is my aim for this season. Oh, and the curbs. I forgot about the update. If you didn't know, there has been an update on Monday? Yesterday, yeah. Yesterday there was an update, and the car is more unsettled after touching a curb. So we've got to watch out for that throughout this race, especially as the tyres start to wear down. Just trying to stay in that DRS of Gasly, which can bring us up to the back of our teammate. And for the lead, Leclerc has got past Verstappen, which is a very big surprise, since Verstappen in that Red Bull absolutely cleared everyone at Bahrain in the first round. So Leclerc is doing what no one could do in Bahrain, which is very good to see. I doubt that that's where the fight's going to be over though. Verstappen's still sticking with Leclerc. We're going to try and do a better exit what we did on Gasly beforehand, but it just doesn't work out for us that time. So the race is starting to settle down a bit now, at least for us.
Okay, mate, Gasly's ahead of you. They're holding us up now, so let's please try and get past as soon as possible and get on with our race. Push,
And
push.
just as I say that, there's a yellow flag for a Mercedes, and We've got to overtake Gasly before lap 10. If this causes a safety car, that will put our objective away completely. I'm not sure whose Mercedes that is that's blowing up. It's Hamilton's.
On Hamilton for you. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
But we're closer to Gasly than what we were on the previous occasion, going down the straight. So let's try and get past him, complete this objective. But there's no safety car, no VSC for Hamilton's retirement there. Gasly moves to the inside to defend. We're going to go try and round the outside.
Nice work.
We haven't overtook him yet. Well, it will be the inside for the final corner. We're going to stay back a little bit just to try and grab the DRS from him. We push him wide, which leaves him a bit vulnerable to Perez and to Norris behind.
Okay,
Norris steams through both of them.
Got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
And crucial news, crucial. Verstappen has an issue with his car, so the man who's been fighting for first place won't be fighting for first much longer, as he'll be pretty slow. Those hards are coming back to Norris as well, by the way.
2.8 seconds.
I mean, just look at that, he's got himself up into P5, so as I said at the start of the race, we know what that McLaren's like at the start of a stint. It's just not good, but towards the middle and the end of it, it starts to finally pick up its performance. It's the same in real life, to be fair. Verstappen has dropped back by a significant amount there to Leclerc. You can see it on the map. It's about the same gap between Verstappen and Alonso than it is Leclerc to Verstappen, so yeah, it just shows how much that issue, whatever it is, has affected him. But down this straight we've got to use everything to try and stay ahead of Norris here, but everything just isn't even enough. Norris goes through before the chicane. Not the chicane, the hairpin. I'm tired.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
But also, interestingly, Tsunoda in the Ferrari, who started at the back due to the grid penalties, he's still at the back, struggling to get past a Williams, probably of Logan Sargent. But we're going to try and dive down the inside into turn 2 on Lando. A cheeky little move there to get us back up into P4. We need to try and save our ERS as much as we can for that straight. Otherwise it's just not going to be enough each lap, and we're going to spend our time fighting Lando instead of catching Verstappen and Alonso. We will be fighting pretty soon.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.2 seconds.
Here we go, it's time to use everything that we've got to our availability. Russell is going for the move on Perez, surprisingly. We're staying with Norris. Russell's going for the move on us. Russell is going for the move on Lando Norris. There's contact, a bit of damage for someone there. I'm not sure who for. It looks like it's for Russell. So not ideal there for Mercedes race. They've already got one car out, and now they've got another car damaged. So yeah, really not ideal there for the Mercedes team. Gasly now is going to be the one to try and storm through. It's 3 wide into turn 1. And Gasly is through on both of them once more, just like he did to myself and I think it was Lando or Perez. He's done the exact same again, but Perez has actually managed to come back at him there on the exit. Gasly keeping it side by side though, and stays ahead of Sergio Perez into Sector 2. So this race is very lively. The sprint was lively enough, to be fair. We had 2 retirements in the same lap. And yeah, we're only 8 laps into this race, and there's just been non-stop battling, and that's what we like. This is what racing's all about. Shame for Russell though, and Mercedes. I think it's just damage limitation from now. Try and get as many points as what they can, having a damaged car and one out. But yeah, we're out of the DRS of Lando. Going to try and get back in the DRS by the time we get to the final corner. Alonso, meanwhile, has got past Verstappen, who was too busy involved in our own battle, though, to notice. So, well done to him. The difference, though, since Bahrain and China is massive, because we were struggling a lot on our race pace. Even Alonso was struggling. He dropped quite far back to the bottom end of the points in Bahrain from starting P2, so yeah, it's good that we've got our race pace back in this Aston Martin. Yeah, it has sort of died down a little bit now. Not really got any threat behind us. Not really that close to Lando. But he is closing in on Verstappen, so maybe soon we could see a bit more overtaking action. Meanwhile, behind though, I think that Russell's trying to defend from one of the V-carbs. Of course, V-carb doing very well this weekend. Scored points in the sprints, which is usually unlikely because, you know, we've got a top 4 teams that score points already. Red Bull, McLaren, Aston, Mercedes.
Okay,
But they managed to get a couple of
ahead,
points.
1.5 seconds.
Yeah, of course. Completely forgot to mention, it was Tsunoda and Piastri who retired in the sprint race from engine failures. So, yeah, that's probably why they've started at the back of the grid for this race. Meanwhile, Norris is right on the back of Verstappen. Verstappen feels the need to go defensive, but I think that Norris is smart enough to stay behind for that DRS down the main straight, give him some extra speed. That could maybe close him up to Alonso and clear Verstappen a lot quicker. He's going to get him before the DRS zone even activates, and he's already up into P3. So those hard tyres are working well for Norris now compared to at the start of the race, and Verstappen still nursing that issue with his Red Bull.
Approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
Meanwhile, we've got to really try and save our ERS now, so then we can just get up to the back of Verstappen, defend against Gasly as well, and overtake Verstappen, get ourselves back up into that P4.
You're lapping around a second faster than the car ahead. Keep this up.
We've managed to stay in the DRS and save at the same time because Verstappen's car is so slow. So this is very good for us. We can try and use this DRS and our overtake mode and the slipstream off Verstappen to try and close back
We've
up
got
to
a lot of
Lando.
spare energy. Okay to use
Oh.
your overtake button.
Maybe not. We've got an engine failure here. So we are out, 11 laps in, and we've gone up in smokes completely. So we won't be scoring any points here at China.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins.
Well, they were clearly at one with their car today, Crofty, out there. New regulations, of course, for this season. And you can tell that they've done their homework. They've studied, they've put probably a lot of time in the simulator, worked well with their engineer. And, I mean, they were absolute joy to watch out there today. They really were.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
So then our race was cut completely short there by the engine failure, which isn't ideal for the rest of the season as well, to have an engine blow up. But Leclerc ended up winning that race, which is a complete contrast to his sprint race. Norris ended up getting second, so he won the sprint, got third, sorry, in the main race. Alonso, our teammate, got second, so a very good weekend from him. Verstappen didn't finish on the podium at all. He finished fourth though, so yeah. Gasly got sixth, and Sainz scored points for VCARB once again for the second time this weekend. But yeah, not an ideal weekend for us, as we DNF out of the race. Piastri managed to get himself up into the points, Tsunoda didn't. So let's look at the championship. Verstappen on 44 points, only 1 point ahead of Leclerc here, so it's getting close once again. Fernando Alonso is in third on 27 points, just 2 points behind him is Lando Norris, and just 1 extra point behind that is Russell. Then it's ourselves, 5 points behind Russell. Perez is 3 points behind us, and Piastri 4 points behind Perez, and behind him by 1 point is Lewis Hamilton, and rounding out the top 10 is Gasly on 8 points. 13 point scorers then this season already. Let's look at the constructors. Red Bull lead still, 11 points over Ferrari, who are 3 points ahead of ourselves, and obviously you can see the rest of the championship there. No points for Williams, Sauber or Haas. So then, move on to the next one. Thank you, by the way, I've only just looked at the comments. I do league racing, yes. So, yeah. And it is PS4. Ooh. So our old team wants us back, but I don't want to go back. I want completely different teams.
Hey, just a quick one for me. The team are pleased that you've declined that meeting. Gold star, brownie points, etc., etc. I guess we'll see if anything else more exciting comes calling. But let's focus on our current seat for now.
Just streaming at the moment. Hold on. Alright, our goals are set then. So we'll see what upgrades we can get, which isn't any at all. We've got upgrades before the Canadian Grand Prix coming through.
Okay, all the new parts have been fabricated and we're going to have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
We're already up there on engine power, so we don't really want to get that. So a ton of upgrades have came through for us actually. It's going to put us a bit closer to the competition, which is good for us. Haven't done Canada yet in this career mode, so this will be a fun, interesting weekend. Hello to the people in the stream, welcome. So no rain like in real life, which is good for us. We don't like the rain. But this is how things stand then in the R&D. Red Bull and McLaren pretty much drawing Ferrari. Then it's ourselves. VCarb have made their way up to 5th, ahead of Mercedes just about. Then it's Alpine, kind of on their lonesome to be fair. Then Sauber, Haas and Williams pretty evenly matched as well. We've still yet to win a race, that's including sprints as well. We've not won this season at all. We've got 4th, 2nd in the sprint and then a DNF due to the engine failure. So yeah, can we do it this weekend at Canada? We will see. So let's get into a quick practice. Nice start. No, I pressed across and now it sent me to track. I hate it when it does this. Now we've just wasted a practice session basically. God's sake.
And if today's practice is
Game.
anything to go...
Go away. Let's try and get nearly everything done in this quick practice. Everything but 2. So let's try and get a big upgrade in a department where we need it. We don't really need it there. Wow, okay, they've upgraded a lot there. Chassis, can't afford. Aero, can't afford. It's got to be the power. Sufficient points. So that's the better one out of the 2. So we'll just get that. Any more that we can get maybe? No? Okay. So let's go to our full qualifying then. Do need to set up for Canada since I've never done it on this game.
In Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying.
So no rain to stuff us over, of course, like it did in China. Oh. Nout. I'm just gonna do qualifying, Logan. Shouldn't take long because I always skip to the end of it anyway. Don't ring it, just fucking message it. Okay, that was completely wrong. Oh, I have got a Canada set up. What? Oh well. I'll overwrite it. Right then. As if. Go on stream. No. Sainz has gone quicker than Leclerc, Perez and Verstappen, and he's in a V-carb. And Ricciardo's gone quicker than both Red Bulls as well. Alonso's quickest. What is this? Okay, so we've kind of had a swap around since China then, by the look of it.
Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're ready to go.
Yeah. Alonso. Did you see Sainz?
We've been pushed down to P20.
So then, let's go to this lap then, guys. Hopefully we don't get held up on there.
Okay, there's 2 minutes left in this session and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap or that's qualifying over for us.
A little bit held up there by Magnussen, of course, and Stroll just won't get out of the way. Russell was a very nice move out of the way then. He's got common sense. A slight bang into the wall of champions there. But we cross the line and go quickest. So despite we got a lot held up there on a couple of occasions, it's a pretty good lap and hit the wall as well. I'm sorry Magnussen, didn't mean to get in the way there. Do something that you'll be happy with. You ready, Logan? Go on stream. Stay back a little bit and give Sergeant the slipstream.
underbody's taken some damage, I suggest we box so we can check it out.
Getting a nice slipstream. There we go. We've been pushed down to P9 though. Let's hope that we don't get knocked out. Put a P10 now. I think that Sargent's just gone into the top 10. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. I will have a look in a sec once the quali's over. I want to be surprised. Go on, did you jump off it? Alright, let's have a look then. Where did Logie Sarge finish? Oh. Oh. He got knocked out, but he wasn't last, he was 16th. And everyone was within 9/10 of each other actually. So, it's pretty close actually. Top 10 separated by 3/10. The top 4 separated by less than a tenth. Yeah. We've had a reg change though going into season 2, so Sonoda. Yeah, wow. Yeah, he's just, the only thing is that he's not. We'll go out a bit later so we don't get held up by anyone. Both McLarens are actually currently being knocked out, 11th and 12th. Albon 13th ahead of Ricciardo. Huh?
Right,
Sauber.
car's ready. Let's get it out there.
Very. Yeah. What? Flying lap takes wear off your tyres and stuff. Puts wear into your tyres, yeah. Because obviously it's got to get round the track, isn't it? So it doesn't just spawn there. No, I like to get my tyre temps right. Otherwise you've only got like a tiny bit of the straight.
Right, that's us pushed down into P15.
McLaren's actually meant to be joint top team, and they're out here nearly being knocked out in Q2. Yes. Right, that they're going to Silverstone, yeah, they are the Ferrari. Right, let's start this lap then. corner. Both McLarens are knocked out despite going for another run. Where are we? P2. We're through into Q3. Both McLarens there knocked out in 12th and 13th. So a disaster class from them. So Verstappen gets the fastest lap. We're ahead of Alonso. Then it's Sainz in the V-Carb and Perez. Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, Tsunoda and Gasly get through into the top 10. Ocon only knocked out by 0.04 of a second, and as I said, both McLarens. Ricciardo in the other V-Carb and Alex Albon. So on to Q3 we go. What's our objectives? Forgot. Only 2 sessions without using a flashback. Oh. Oopsie doopsie. So surprisingly, Sainz has currently got the slowest time despite being up there the whole weekend. Hopefully, because I like to see my old team do well and the underdogs, hopefully he can get up there again.
Everyone ready?
But it's not looking good for him at the moment. 0.5 off the pace of Max Verstappen. So out we go on to track for our final run in qualifying. We're going to let everyone who's behind us through. I don't think that Sainz is coming back out again. I hope he does. I don't know if that Mercedes is just he's just started a lap, so whoever that is, which is Russell, is going to get held up massively like I did, which is a shame. Hamilton, go. Oh my god. So, not sure what Tsunoda's doing here. He's causing an absolute calamity between himself, Verstappen and Hamilton. If Verstappen isn't careful and doesn't let Tsunoda through here, he could get a place penalty, so hopefully that happens. Let's look on race director. Incidents, none. Oh, of course. FIA always favour Red Bull. Yes, Sainz not coming back out on track, so he's done for the day. He's probably going to be in P10 because let's be honest, we are going to do a faster lap. Let's do this lap, see if we can get pole then, or at least a full row. Wow, curves really do unsettle the car now. Oh my life. That was very close to bidding it in the wall. So this isn't the quickest lap. I don't know what's happening on this lap, to be fair. We're usually really good through the second sector, but we just haven't got it this time. It's a bit all over the place, to be fair. Sainz did go back out on track. Hold on. Verstappen goes quickest again. We're in the Wall of Champions, and
Okay, you've got
with
front
half a
wing
wing.
damage. This will have a major...
Okay, we've stayed P10. not the best end to the qualifying that we was hoping for. But we know that we've got
With
the pace.
qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow.
Verstappen's just gone and got
so make
pole
sure
by
you
5
join us then.
tenths over Perez. Then it's Hamilton, then Alonso, then Sainz, Russell, Gasly, Leclerc and Tsunoda, and then myself. Absolute bottle job. I know. I tried to, but they didn't respond to me, so... No, they didn't. Oh my god, no they're not, Logan. Because I answered my question to him, and he didn't respond, and then he's just said, "You're here now," and I said, "Yes," and then he didn't respond. So... we are going to leave it there though, guys. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when I do the next part of this career mode. We've got a 35 lap race to do at Canada, starting from P10. Hopefully we don't bin it into the wall of champion like we did there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you for joining, and yeah,